Hi, board member.
Good afternoon, Jose Medrano, small business owner, Brownsville.
Luz Marshall, Brownsville Independent School District.
Patricia Cavazos, BISD and Chairman.
Chester Gonzalez, attorney.
Miguel Ángel Patiño with Laboratory Corporation of America.
Araceli Aguilar with Gomez Ragos and Associates.
Good afternoon, Luis Larraga with the BPUB Communications and Marketing.
Okay, it is 5:26. The first item on the agenda for today, approving the March and April minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All of those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Second item on the agenda, any old business?
Yes, I just wanted to, in our last meeting, we talked about some of the initiatives that BPUB was doing in terms of community outreach and sponsorships. And so we actually have a presentation tonight about the BPUB sponsorship program, so we can go a little bit more in depth into that. And also, the second presentation is also regarding the scholarship, the SHARE scholarship. I know some of you participated in that process and helping select. So we'll get the announcement of the winners tonight as well.
Okay, next item on the agenda, new business.
Sure. Like I said last meeting as well, that BPUB continues to strive to be out there connecting with the community. We did hold 2 different tours this month. One it was actually a media tour. We invited members of the media to come into our facilities and get to see the work that goes behind the scenes here at our facilities. And we also had a tour for key accounts and state representatives, and so they also got to see some of that. And then actually tomorrow we're hosting Leadership Brownsville Class 41. So we continue to make those efforts. And then just a quick reminder for everyone that hurricane season does start June 1st.
I would just like to say something on that, Luis. I certainly appreciate it because I do keep up with a lot of the social media that goes out, and one, I appreciate the media presentation or the media tour that you gave, because it's always important. I think it's always important for any entity, especially BPUB, to be out front and remind the community, that whatever that rule is, 7 times 7 or whatever, we can never speak highly enough of the good work that goes out of BPUB. I don't, because I think there's some wonderful work that goes out here, awesome work that goes out here. There, like any organizations, there may be some hiccups here and there, but just like when the storms came in the other day and the alerts go out, we know about this 14 minutes later, and it's already public that the PUB is aware of these things. PUB is on that. I make it a point to try to push that forward, just so that the community, whoever's on social media, or at least my social media, understands that we are aware of that. BPUB is aware of that, and we're doing that. So props again, as I always do, for those social media posts.
Appreciate that.
Okay, next on the agenda is the sponsorship program.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the current sponsorship program that we have. As you know, many organizations reach out to us on an annual basis for our annual budget. However, we receive sponsorships almost daily or every single week. So let me start. So basically during this presentation, we're going to go over about what the program is, why BPUB participates in the sponsorships, what's the criteria, and some of the examples of the organizations and events that we sponsor. So the sponsorship program, basically, we focus on community-focused initiatives and events that align with the utilities mission, values, and commitment to public service. So one of the 4 main things that we aim to do, we usually participate in initiatives that they promote community engagement, that they support education and public awareness, that they encourage conservation and safety awareness, and to strengthen relationships with customers. So why do we participate in the sponsorships? Participating in the sponsorships helps us a lot to bridge that gap between us and the customers, but also between us and the nonprofit organizations. We want to connect with the customers outside of the service interactions. We want to make sure that we support those initiatives that benefit the community. We want to increase, of course, awareness of the BPUB programs, promote educational and public outreach opportunities, because many of these sponsorships as well, they promote scholarships, and we support the scholarships as well for multiple schools. And of course, to continue reinforcing the BPUB's role as a trusted community partner. Now, the criteria to apply, whenever we get someone reach out to us in regards requesting a sponsorship, let me explain you a little bit of the process, right? They usually reach out to us, and from them, we send them a link where they need to submit the sponsorship in the website, right? We have an application link for that. Either they reach out to us or we direct them directly to that link. Once they submit that, they need to put, of course, their contact information, phone number, email, name. Also, provide an explanation about what are they looking for us to sponsor. Either it's an event or if they are looking for multiple events through the year as well. They need to submit a couple of documents, such as their W-9, for example. Also, they need to provide an explanation about how these funds are going to be used. Why? Because we need to, as I mentioned before, there's a certain criteria that they need to meet, and we need to make sure that the funds are going to be used in a way that they are aligned to our policies and procedures. After that, we receive the notification that someone received the sponsorship, and we review them on a weekly basis every Thursday during my one-on-one meeting with our Chief Administrative Officer. We review that those sponsorships are aligned, and if they qualify, we'll go ahead and proceed. Everything depends, of course, on the budget. The amount usually depends on the budget. There's not like, it doesn't really depend on the name of the organization or preference for that. In reality, it's just a budget. Every single year, we've been providing more and more sponsorships, and as of now, we have sponsored over 60 events throughout the year with our current budget. So just to explain you a little bit of the criteria, all of the requests, they need to be, they will be reviewed based on community benefit and public purpose. They need to be aligned with APUB's mission and values. They need to be aligned as well with educational, civic, or cultural impact. They also need to benefit the inhabitants within the BPUB service area. Let's say that it's usually only Roswell. Sometimes we do requests from certain areas from Los Verdes or Olmito, so as long as the benefit is going to be in an area where BPUB has the service, we can provide it. If not, then it won't be aligned to our policy, and we will need to respectfully decline that request. Also, it all depends as well on the audience reach and engagement opportunities, because even though we provide this sponsorship, there's always needs to be a return in marketing and advertising for the organization as well. And of course, as I mentioned before, the budget availability. So usually priorities typically be given to nonprofit and community-focused organizations. This is basically what I just explained there. How can they apply? They can just go to our website to the section where we have request and sponsorship. Applications typically include the organization, event information, the purpose of the event, community impact, sponsorship request details, event date, audience information, and also any relevant financial documents. I'll give you here some of the examples. For example, BISD, the racing team, their middle school and high school team, they actually finished third in the recent national contest that was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a week ago. We provide them with the scholarship of $2,000 to support this racing team. Also, we have East Bronzeville, Little League of Bronzeville. We provided the sponsorship. I mean, as you know, this supports the sports and community benefits as well. So we provided a sponsorship for their uniforms. So they have our logo in their uniforms. Also, the Lead from Ground Up Construction Camp, this one is from Workforce Solutions Cameron. Also, some of the events, as everyone knows, right, Charter Days Parade. Any questions?
What type of budget does PUB have to do this program?
We have $140,000 per year. But every year we receive more and more requests, and that's why sometimes the budget or the amount that we provide to the organizations varies, right, depending on the amount because we wanna make sure that we can sponsor as many as possible.
Is there like a number that you could sort of tell us as far as what the applicants are on a yearly basis, more or less?
More than 60, certainly more than 60, yes.
Quick comment, so congratulations on the 60 events, I think that's what you said, plus in addition.
Plus 60.
Plus the sponsorships and all of that. My question is, for example, just clearly as an example, if there is an event, like say at one of the nonprofits or the library, and maybe I should know this, but I'll ask you anyway. Because I know that it's best when you have a representative there manning the table or manning the booth, wherever you're at, to be able to speak directly about the organization. But does BPUB leave pamphlets or have pamphlets in the nonprofit areas where other, where clients go, or at the zoo or the museums? Is that something that we also do?
We usually do that for the events that we sponsor. For example, with the zoo, we provide an annual sponsorship where we sponsor more than 9 events for them during the year. And because of that, we have the right to have a booth in each of those events. So that's where our team goes, provides the pamphlets, some merchandise as well. So in many of the events that we sponsor, they give us the opportunity to have a table there, and we always have a staff there.
And so I guess my question is, and then after that, after the event is over, is there, and maybe this is not protocol, so maybe that's the reason, if it's a no, that you leave literature so that, the next however many 100 people that go in, if they're looking for something in an information booth there at the zoo or at a nonprofit, might be able to pull something that is public anyway. There just isn't anyone there to respond to a question.
Of course. Yes, if the organization allows that and if they give us permission for that, we certainly leave some information or some pamphlets depending on the topic of the event.
Thank you.
I have a question. Do you guys sponsor elementary schools? Like, for example, I know in our campus, they just started like the cheer, anyways, I understand that these little girls, some of them, they don't have the resources. And I know that uniforms and all of the, what they wear is expensive, because I was looking into that. Would you be able to sponsor elementary schools or any specifics?
Yeah, we do provide sponsorships to elementary and middle school. I mean, as part of our criteria that as long as it's for educational purposes, we can provide the sponsorship. So in this case, my suggestion will be for them to reach out to us. We will review what the sponsorship aligns, and if we will review this sponsorship with the request that they are doing aligns with our policies and procedures, and if it does, we can certainly provide it.
And the contact?
It will be myself. Yes, I can provide you my contact. I believe you have it, but I can provide my contact information. Yes, of course.
And I also have a comment. I know that you have invested into other organizations like the Children's Museum. So that's a huge investment, but I know that that's to bring the community, be aware of what you'll do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the Share Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Evelyn Ramirez with the Digital Information Platforms Department. For just a quick reminder, our mission here for BPUB is to have the annual Project Share Scholarship program aims to support deserving high school graduates in the pursuit of higher education. We have done this over the past 19 years. We've had a total of 197 recipients. This is not including this year, since we haven't given the award out yet. And so the total amount we have had was over 203,500. So some of the application requirements was that these students have to fill out the application online. They must reside in a household that receives service from PUB. It could be water, electric, and they must be a graduating class from this current school year, right, 2005, 2006, and they must attend an accredited university in the United States. This year we had over 11 Vasquez, she is from James Pace High School. Gail Garcia from South Texas ISD Medical Professions. Sophie Guerrero from Veterans Memorial. Sarah Magallanes from St. I'm sorry, what?
Magallanes.
Oh, thank you. Magallanes from St. Joseph Academy. Sean Wasson from Veterans Memorial. Jasmine Gonzalez from Hannah High School. Clara Garza from Homer, Hannah High School. Hazel Lynn Trevino from Brownsville Early College High School. Ashley Nicole Amaro from Lopez Early College High School. Julianne K. Bard from Lopez Early College High School, and Christian Loretta from Los Fresno High School. And also, I just wanted to say thank you again to the panelists who had help in doing the scholarship evaluations. We really appreciate your help in getting those students evaluated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, public comments, is there any public comments for today, this evening?
I did not receive a notice of public comment, but if anybody would like to speak, you have 3 minutes to do so.
Okay, if there's no further business to discuss, we're gonna go ahead and close the meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to adjourn the meeting. All of those in favor say aye. All of those opposed? Motion carries. It is 5:43. Thank you, guys.
That's not my man.
Hmm?